So those of you that have used our PowerPoints that are available, the DP Flex a couple years ago, I think it was, we added some visual aspects to it. Again, you know, we all know there's three different learning styles, right? The visual, the auditory, and the kinesthetic, which I can never say that, so I apologize if I said it wrong. People that like to move to do it. So what we did was we tried to show what this whole presentation is about, is trying to show a couple different ways to reach those visual and the kinesthetic learners, okay? So the first approach uses graphics for the DP Flex. So we all know DP is an offensive specialist, so as long as they use their bat, that represents playing offense. As long as the Flex, who's a defensive specialist, uses their mitt, that represents playing defense. So again, just some little visual things to kind of help those visual learners pick up on this is what we intended to do. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about, is how we use that in this DP Flex presentation. So you might be able to use the same kind of concept on a different thing that you want to teach. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Again, the second approach is the living lineup. I know some people have seen that before. Did a little bit of different things, got a little excited with the lamination machine and some Velcro, so just kind of want to show a little bit of how we can show that visual and bring those bat and mitt aspects into that living lineup that we've actually used before in the past. So I'll ask for a couple volunteers. I know I've got 12 positions, so that would take almost everybody in the room, so I'll just use the key positions that we're going to make subs for so the others can still follow along. Comparing the DP Flex to other lineup positions, again, like we talk about, each player usually plays offense, so they use their bat. They bat and run, right? They also usually play defense, so they use their mitt. So again, every player can have that same visual, if you will, their bat and their mitt. Talking DP Flex and splitting that into two pieces, because again, the DP is our offensive specialist. So as long as they play offense, they use their bat, right? So that represents batting and running. But they use their bat, is what we're trying to get through. Again, they've never left the game. So we have a lot of things DP Flex can do. The DP can play defense for somebody. They can play defense for the Flex. They can do those kind of things and move in and out of the game. The biggest thing we want to try and lock people in is, if they continue to play offense, they use their bat, they've never left the game. So again, that visual piece to tie along with that. Similarly, the Flex is our defensive specialist. So again, as long as our Flex continues to play defense, they have not left the game. So as long as they're using their mitt, right, out there playing defense, they've never left the game. Make sense? Yo, okay.
Under, you said Flex defensive, and you said as long as the DP.
I'll fix that.
Okay.
That should say Flex.
That was a typo.
It was.
Okay.
Good catch. I was just trying to see if y'all were paying attention. Y'all passed with flying colors. Very good.
Is that caffeine?
It is. You're sharp, eagle sharp. All right. So again, on our lineup card, we have a disclaimer in the full presentation to tell umpires, don't go out and look for bat and mitt stickers, please. We don't want to do this on a real lineup. It's just here for this presentation, okay? But again, our DP is our offensive specialist. They need to be in the top 9 positions. Again, they're using the bat, okay? Our Flex is the person playing defense for that DP. They're in the 10th position. They are the ones using the mitt, if you will, playing defense, right? So, talking about a substitute, we're going to have Baker run for Cooper. Again, this is a straight sub, so this is pretty easy. Just like any other substitute in the game, Baker now becomes the new DP, no big deal. We are also showing them in this presentation one way to do lineup management. So we're hitting 2 birds with 1 stone, if you will. It does show them a way to record it. There's no textbook way or official way to do lineup management, but what we want to make sure they know some way to mark that, so that when they look at that card, they know what official subs have been in the game, where they've been, what positions they're locked into. Okay? So now, if the Flex bats and runs for the DP leaves the game. Remember, we talked about DP and Flex being locked. If the Flex bats, they have to do so for the DP. So again, at this point, Cooper has left the game, and we draw the bat coming down here, so that now our Flex is doing both jobs, right? They're still using their mitt, playing defense. Now they're also batting and playing offense. So at this point, again, to use our visual cues, if the DP isn't using their bat, they've left the game. So that seems to help some people get the concept a little better. Now our lineup's down to 9. We talk about in the full presentation, you can go from 10 to 9 any number of times because the position is always available. The player only has one reentry. But as long as I've got subs down here, I can bring them in to be that new DP like I showed in that other slide. And we can continue to go from 10 to 9 as long as we have enough subs available. Okay? So again, one thing we do show them in lineup is drawing this arrow makes it very clear who is playing offense for the DP. Some do, some don't. Again, we recommend it because that makes it real clear that now our flex is the one. I didn't forget to record a sub. Our flex is the one who's now entered, if you will, for the DP. Okay? So now, our DP Cooper re-enters. Again, showing lineup management. We circle it to show they've re-entered. Again, they take their bat back. You see the bat moved up there. Cool animation, right? Now, flex returns to the 10th position in the lineup. The one thing that's cool about this is that flex has never left the game, right? Because they've never quit using their mitt. They've continued to play defense. That's what their real job is, right? So they've never left the game. So that's what's one of the cool things about Flex DP. You can move people in and out without having to leave the game. It gives you more flexibility as a coach, right? So again, drawing that arrow is a really cool thing to do because it shows you the flex is going back to playing defense only. Cooper begins to pitch. So now at this point, they have taken Green's mitt. And again, we tell our disclaimer, it doesn't mean they physically have to use the Flex's mitt. It's just a visual connotation to let you know. Because if you don't, they're going to have an umpire out there going, nope, you can't use that blue mitt. You was using a red mitt. You've got to use the red mitt. You know there'll be people out there that do it. So we put all the disclaimers in there. But again, as a representation of playing defense, they've now quit playing defense. Okay? So at this point, Green has left the game because they're not playing defense. The lineup's down to 9 active players. We still have that position available, either for a re-entry or for a substitution, but we're down to 9 active players. So again, Green may re-enter. So here's the other thing a DP can do. DP can play defense for anybody other than the flex and nobody leaves the game. So in this situation, going back to the standard player who has a mitt and a bat, at this point, Cooper, who's our DP, is going to go in and play defense for Abel. So Abel still has their bat. They've still got a job. They haven't left the game. They just simply let them go use their mitt, so to speak, not necessarily physically. Okay? Again, Abel's not left the game. They're still going to bat in the second position. So again, kind of showing that they've still got a job, they've still got a bat, they've still got something to do. That's why they haven't left the game. Living lineup. Any questions on that first? I mean, I think those of you in the room that know DP pretty well, it's kind of a refresher, but it's just kind of a different way to reach people who can't get the concept of splitting that position. It kind of shows the different things that they need to do. So can I get a couple, I think I need 4 volunteers? Don't everybody jump up at once. All right. You are number 20. All right. Number 24. All right. And we'll come down here. We'll put you in order here in a minute. Okay. So, you're a sub. Can you hang out on the wall here? You're flex, so you're going to be down there. Trust me, you'll be up here in just a minute. Okay, so let's go this way some so that we're not blocking this. Come on over. So what we would normally do is if we had 40 people in a room, we would have the whole lineup up here. Okay, so one person would have number 19, number 17. We do have number 20 here with Vince. We do have Mr. Jones here as number 24. And now at the very end, we would have all the other spaces, right? At the very end, we have, there you go, full space, whole bunch of players in there. We have Rachel as our flex, okay? So now what we can do with this living lineup is, yeah, flex. We show the positions, right? You're locked into that batting position. So we have people staying in their order, if you will. So we can show when a sub comes in here in a minute, we show that now we have 2 people in this position. So it physically shows that learner that, okay, now I see they're locked in that same position. Yeah, they moved to here. They can't move anywhere else. So again, it's another piece of that visual and kinetic, because they're moving, learner. So we'll run through these. So now we have Jones going to bat and gets on base safely. So my DP, number 24 there, gets on base safely. Now he's going to say Green will run for Jones. So at this point, Green, who's my flex, is now going to run for Jones. So I'm going to move you over here. Come up here for me, right in that position, just like I drew the arrow up. And now I'm going to steal your bat and give it to you. And now they're doing both positions. They have the bat and the mitt. And again, this is kind of what, 5th grade art class kind-ish, but it is kind of one of those things that that see people physically move that helps them understand. Now that number 24 has lost their bat, they don't have a job, right? You've still got 2 jobs, batting and playing defense. You don't have any jobs, and now you have both of the jobs for this lineup position, okay? So that again is just more that physical thought of how that lineup progresses. So now Jones has left the game again, has no job, so they're no longer playing offense, and Green is playing both. Number 18. 2 innings later, Green singles to left. That was a nice shot, by the way. So now the offensive coach asks for time to make a change. At this point, Smith is running for Green, and Green will still be playing right field. So one thing we highlight here is Smith, who's number 18, okay? What we have to be sure of as an umpire, and I'll put it all up there so I can just say it. What we have to be sure of is how they want to do this substitution. Because I have 2 players in this position, right? So when they come up and tell me that they want Smith to run for Green, is Smith running for number 24 and being the new DP? And Green is going to go back to playing defense only? Or are they substituting in for the flex and doing both jobs? Well, the way that they said it was, Smith is substituting for Jones because Jones is going back to play defense only. Okay? So now,
I don't know if I'm 9 or 6.
you're 6. Very good. Come on over here, Diane. You are now going to be, you are taking this bat because you're going to play offense. Okay? You're going to go back to playing defense only because you keep the mitt. And you are now the DP. So again, if we're going to do this, we're going to move all kinds of stuff around. I told you I got excited with the Velcro. So again, it shows that now, no, you're right there. You're a sub still, right? So number 24 is still in the DP position in the lineup, right? So again, we're keeping them in order. We're keeping them in line. You're here, down to my flex in the 10th spot, okay? So again, that physical aspect, that seeing that being in line, okay? So again, actively listening, Green is going to still play right field. So now we know number 18, our flex down there, still has their mitt. They're still playing defense. They have never left the game. Okay? So again, this is like the living lineup on steroids. We've added some of those, the visual aspects that we talked about earlier. Is it going to be great for everyone? Some people are going to be standing there going, oh, I know this. I've been doing this forever. But some people, there's going to be a light that clicks on. They're going to be like, oh, I get it now. That the bat, they're not playing offense, it makes sense. So again, just a visual and kinesthetic together. We got a couple more here just to talk about. Now we're going to have, this is actually the exercise, sorry. So we move the bat back like I did. We move Rachel back to being flex, playing defense only. And now we have our sub in line in that 4th spot in our lineup. Okay? Everybody make sense? Now they're all locked in. They can't move from there. So again, this is important. Stuff that we go through. Okay, now in the 4th inning, the offensive coach asks for time to make another change. And you say, really? Jones is going to re-enter to bat for Smith. Okay? So at this point, you got to give up your bat. Boom. And you're back to being the active DP. Boom. And you two just switch positions. Because now you're still locked in that lineup. So again, it's that physical aspect of there's yeah, Diane's hiding, but she is still in that lineup in that 4th spot, right? She can't go to any other position in the lineup. She's locked into that 4th spot. Okay? Things that we always know, but for especially newer umpires, it's okay, I see it. They're locked in that same spot. They can't move from there. Okay, so again, showing it, we show again, we circle re-entries. Again, one way to do our our lineup management. Jones now has used his one reentry, sorry. I got to change that. Smith has now left the game, but you still have one reentry, number 6, right? So we're still in that lineup position. We know where we're at. Again, that's no different than any other substitute, correct? So the next half inning, now the defensive coach asks for time to make a change because Jones will play defense in center field for Thomas. So my Thomas here, number 20, is now not going to play defense. So at this point, he gives up his mitt, gives it to the DP. So has Thomas left the game?
No.
No, because they still have their bat, right? They're still going to play offense. So you're the batter. Way to go. So that's something that we're able to do with DP Flex. The DP can play defense for anyone. That person continues to play offense, and they haven't left the game. So again, that visual aspect of actually giving the mitt to them, not the same physical mitt in the game, but for our purposes here, it shows that they have given up that defensive part, okay? So again, that shows us that. Exercise 5, the next inning, defensive coach asks for time again. Thomas is going to go back to play center field. Jones will play defense for Green in right field. So as they're starting to do already, Thomas takes that mitt back. Now they're back to doing both jobs. And at this point, we're going to steal the mitt from Rachel, and we're going to give their mitt, the DP, the Flex's mitt, is going to go to the DP. So at this point, what has the Flex done? They've left the game because she no longer has, she's still in 10th spot, so we still have them stay there, but they no longer have a job. They don't have a bat, they don't have a mitt, they've left the game. Okay, so again, for those visual learners, it just helps click in just a little bit deeper that, yeah, okay, they don't have a job anymore, they have nothing on their board, so now we know they've left the game. All right, so boom, boom, we're good there, and that's pretty much it. But is that something for your toolbox anyway, when you need it for those kind of learners that help learn that stuff?
It's a great job. I love it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, my lovely assistants. I appreciate you.
Yeah.